way to wake you need your hand away, break a few seal. I kick your home, buying you dough, keep fucking me low, and you set me on. Downside some time, it's calling me you. Lost in the night with a dull image. Some dissuade your eyes holding mine, cutting you, the music.
Well, hey there. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to Dave's After Hours Trivia Club Live. Step inside the lounge, grab your drink of choice, and settle in. Here at Dave's After Dark, we stir up the memories, we test your smarts, and maybe, just maybe, we teach you something new along the way. We do go live most Sundays, and usually, like tonight, on Wednesdays as well, at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific time. Now, when the doors swing open and the lights go down low, this is when the trivia starts to flow. While our robots quickly paint each scene, I serve up the clues, and you will take your best guesses as we move through tonight's 3 categories. First, we'll be doing the top 20 Al Pacino movies. And then next, we will be playing the top 20 bands from the 1970s. We should all know those. And finally, we'll be doing the top 20 most impactful world leaders of the 20th century. So we'll be testing your smarts there. Now, this isn't just a trivia show. It's a fast-paced gauntlet of art, memory, and mystery. Let's see how many you can guess before the brush finishes its final stroke. Now, I did want to quickly mention our sponsor, DavidHansonArt.com. That's me, where you can find our live show's cover art, like you're seeing on the screen right now, in various wall art and merchandise products. So check that out sometime. Now, be sure to check in down in the chat. Say hello. This is where you'll be throwing out your guesses, or you can just hang out with the rest of the crew. I see Jan's in the house and Sandra's in the house. Good to see you guys. I know Arena's going to drop by in a bit, so I'm glad the early boards are here. And we might as well just fire up that first round of, we're going to do Al Pacino movies. So let's get that going. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Now, I think you guys know the rules. The robots do the painting. You do the guessing, and I do try to confuse you along the way with some clues. So again, our first category tonight is going to be the top 20 Al Pacino movies, and we do it in a countdown. So we start at number 20. So that means it starts kind of tough. Here we go. Now, this film dives into the adrenaline-fueled world of sports betting. A suave mentor guides a hotshot with a golden gut for picking winners. The drama ramps up as egos clash and their luck runs out. So Matthew McConaughey plays the protege, but the older man steals the show. Al Pacino portrays a gambling kingpin with swagger and deep psychological insight. Now, who remembers the name of this? Yeah, I think you're onto it, Jan. You're onto it. There's more than just money involved in the title. But yes, it is blank, 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 the money. Blank, blank, the money. Who knows? This is 2005. 2005. This was one of several roles where Pacino explored themes of temptation and mentorship. So this was a reoccurring role for him. He even helped shape some of his characters' monologues on set. So you're on to it there, Jan. This is called Two for the Money, if you remember. Two for the Money. Pacino and McConaughey. Yeah, number 20, you know. It's always a little tough. All right, number 19. 19. This is all the way back in 1991. A young Al Pacino. It's not every day you see Pacino flipping burgers for love. A shy ex-con falls hard for his coworker in a small New York diner. Romance blossoms between two lonely souls with guarded hearts. Okay, so this is Michelle Pfeiffer resists his advances, but not forever. Sandra! Very good. Very good. Do you remember this? Did you guys see this? Pacino plays Johnny, a cook determined to prove he's more than his past. Yeah, and you are correct. This is something called Frankie and Johnny. Frankie and Johnny. This film was based on a stage play by Terrence McNally. Pacino previously starred in a different McNally work, showing their artistic kinship. There you go. There they are, Frankie and Johnny. I don't remember seeing it. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't remember. I did see the next one though. Number 18 coming up. Here we go. 2002. 2002. Now, in this one, a detective loses more than sleep in his Sunlit Noir. Sunlit Noir. The setting never gets dark, literally. Oh, it's Alaska in the summer. That explains things. He's investigating a murder while haunted by his own guilt. I remember this now. Robin Williams flips his usual script to play a quiet killer. All right, this has Robin Williams in Alaska. Pacino delivers a haunting turn as a weary cop on the edge. Apparently he has a problem, and that's the name of the movie. His problem. Do you know what his problem is? And it's the name of the movie. This was Christopher Nolan's first, only film that was not based on his own original idea, and his only remake. So this was a remake of Steuart. Steuart's in the house with the answer. Thank you, Steuart. Insomnia is correct. Good movie, right? Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Robin Williams, 2002. There you go. He was a little scary there, right, in that little video. Number 17, 1993. He wants out of the game, but the streets pull him back. A tale of redemption wrapped in vintage leather jackets and Latin beats. He runs a nightclub while dodging bullets and betrayal. Sean Penn's wild hair and even wilder lawyering don't help. All right. Does this look familiar to anybody? Pacino's Brigante tries to escape the criminal life with dignity. So the title of this movie involves his character's first name. The climatic Grand Central Chase took weeks to shoot and is still studied for its visual storytelling. Yeah, Steuart, you've got it. Not the best spelling in the world, but you have it. It's close. Carlito's Way. Carlito's Way. Yeah, you got it. There he is. That was number 17. All right. They get more and more familiar as we go down the list. Number 16. This one, it's Wise Guy meets Fed in this undercover epic. Wise Guy meets Fed. Okay. Forget about it becomes a running mantra and a test of loyalty. This is where the phrase "forget about it" got popular. Forget about it. A mentor teaches the mob ropes to a man who's not who he says he is. Johnny Depp plays the mole. Pacino plays his trusting partner. Yeah, okay, you guys both know this one. Very good. Steuart, Sandra, you guys both know it. Pacino's lefty Ruggiero is tragic, loyal, and heartbreakingly unaware. Okay. The real Donnie Brasco, aka Joe Pistone, praised Pacino for portraying the humanity of a low-ranking mobster often overlooked. There you go. Lefty. Donnie Brasco. This was all the way back in 1997. 1997. There he is. Donnie. Saying something. I don't know what he's saying. Couldn't hear him. All right. Now this next one, I don't think I saw it, but I think this is one I want to see. So a pound of flesh is the price, but what's the cost of justice? Shakespeare gets a moody cinematic treatment. Venice is misty, the stakes are high, and the prejudice runs deep. Jeremy Irons and Joseph Fiennes round out the cast. So, stellar cast. Pacino's Shylock is both villain and victim. Intensely compelling. Yes. Steuart, you are correct. Yeah. So I don't think I saw this, but I think I would like to see this probably. The Merchant of Venice is correct. Pacino had played Shylock on stage for years before the film, which helped him craft one of the screen's richest Shakespeare performances. Yeah, well, if you play it for years on Broadway first. You guys see this? Was it good? Yeah, I'm thinking I would probably like it. I would probably like this one. Yep. All right. I think you'll remember this movie, number 14. The guy's blind. He's angry and he's ready to party. He's got a sharp tongue, a sharper suit, and an eye for Ferraris. A young prep student tags along on a chaotic New York City weekend? Yes, correct. Hooah becomes a cultural catchphrase. That's right. Hooah! Hooah! Pacino won his first and only Oscar as the irascible Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade. Well, that was his name. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade. There you go. You are correct. Scent of a Woman, 1992. The tango scene was shot in just a few takes and is considered one of cinema's most iconic nonverbal monologues. There you go. I don't know how he could dance when he's blind, but I guess he did it. I remember this movie, Scent of a Woman. This is the one he won the Oscar for, right? So there you go. There he is. No, they both look happy. He doesn't look blind there, though. I guess the robots didn't know that. All right. Now, this next movie I saw. Yeah, here we go. Number 13. You might not expect Satan to run a law firm, but here we are. It's a steamy thriller where moral dilemmas come with corner offices. Keanu Reeves is the rising star attorney with a dark mentor. I forgot this was Keanu. Temptation, ego, and fire and brimstone speeches abound. Yeah, Steuart. I remember this movie. Yeah, Keanu and Charlize Theron, right? Wasn't it Charlize Theron? Am I mistaken on that? I think so. A very young Charlize. Pretty sure. Pacino plays John Milton, a devilish, charismatic boss with horns to spare. Yes. Yeah. Pacino improvised much of his dialogue, including the epic, God is an absentee landlord. Right. Oh, it's a rant. Okay. The Devil's Advocate is, of course, correct. You remember that there's some wild scenes, right, with things going on up in the sky or something. I don't know. It was some weird stuff. All right. Give me number 12. This is all the way back 1973. So this is a very young Al Pacino. Two drifters hit the road, chasing vague dreams and distant payoff. It's quiet, strange, and unexpectedly tender. One wants to start a car wash business, and the other wants a friend. Gene Hackman co-stars in this offbeat buddy drama. This is back in 73, long time ago. Pacino plays Lion, a naive soul in a hard knock world. Now, there he is. Does anybody remember the name of this movie? The film won the Palme d'Or at, I don't know what that is, Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival. So I guess that's an award, right? But was nearly forgotten until critics revived it as a cult classic. So this is a little bit of a cult movie. Yeah, Steuart knows it. Very good. Yeah. I definitely haven't seen this. Scarecrow is correct. 1973. You are correct. Very good. Not bad. Okay. All right, number 11. We're getting there. 1989 for this one. Pacino hadn't done a movie in 4 years. Then came this sexy thriller. A detective falls for a prime suspect in a string of murders. That's always problematic. Always a problem. The killer meets dates through lonely heart ads and leaves records spinning. Ellen Barkin keeps him guessing and sweating. Very good, Sandra. Sandra knows the romantic ones. Very good. Ellen Barkin. Yeah. Pacino plays Frank Keller, a man torn between love and duty. Okay. The title track by Phil Phillips plays a recurring role. It even inspired the film's sultry tone. Sea of Love is correct. Yeah. 1989. Sultry tone. Who's Phil Phillips? I don't know. I don't know who Phil Phillips is. Oh well. Well, that means we're down to the top 10. Top 10 Al Pacino movies. Now, I definitely saw this one. This is a recent one. 2019. And Jimmy Hoffa finally gets his epic screen treatment. This is about Jimmy Hoffa. Long, slow, and packed with powerhouse performances. Scorsese, crime opus, uses de-aging tech to show decades of betrayal. I don't know what that de-aging tech is. You are right, Steuart. Then this one, right? Can you tell in the picture here in the background there is De Niro. De Niro and Joe Pesci return, but Pacino's new to the Scorsese verse. So De Niro and Joe Pesci are always doing Scorsese movies, but this was a new one for Al Pacino. Pacino is fiery and funny as the doomed union boss. It hardly looks like him, but it is. This was Pacino's first film with Scorsese, despite decades of being cinematic neighbors. Yeah, good movie. Yeah, it is really long, right? like close to 4 hours, right? It is long. The Irishman. Oh, there it is. All right, we're getting all into familiar territory. All the rest of them will be very familiar names. A bank heist turns into a media circus and a very human story. Now, this one is based on true events with tension and heart in equal measure. The crowd outside chants while things inside fall apart. Now that's what I remember. The crowd outside being part of the story, right? Attica, Attica. He gave a rallying cry. Well, yes, it is a bank robbery. Steuart. Very good. Pacino is unforgettable as Sonny, a desperate man with a wild plan. This was a good movie. I thought it was great. You guys like it? Oh, that was pretty good. Dog Day Afternoon is correct. All the way back in 1975, and that is a rather young Al Pacino there. Real life events inspired not only this film, but also changed how media covered live crime in progress. Huh, interesting. So, art imitates real life. There you go. Oh, there he is. All right, number 8. We're down to number 8. You'll get this one pretty quick from the picture. Whistleblowers don't often wear scruffy beards and leather fringe. Corruption runs deep, and he's the one good cop who won't play along. That's right, that's the main storyline, right? He gets shot in the face and still doesn't back down. It's gritty 1970s realism at its finest. Yes, you are correct. Were you typing Serpico, Sandra, and Servicing came out? Servicing, I haven't heard of that movie, but could still happen. Pacino earned an Oscar nod as the defiant Frank Serpico is correct. 1973, the real Serpico was so impressed with Pacino's performance that he became a lifelong friend. Pretty cool. Yeah, that was a good movie. Serpico. I remember that one. I think that one replayed on all the different movie channels for quite it's probably still playing, right? Yeah. There he is. Serpico. Cool name. Cool name for sure. That means we're down to the top 7. Top 7 Al Pacino movies. Oh, this is a good one. This one also stars our friend Val Kilmer. 2 legends, 1 face-off, and an unforgettable diner scene. A cop obsessed with catching a master thief. Sound familiar? The action scenes are as meticulous as the dialogue is loaded. Yeah, okay. Very good, Sandra. Yeah, very good. You beat Steuart that time. Very good. De Niro brings the chill. Pacino brings the fire. Pacino's Lieutenant Vincent Hanna is intense, erratic, and impossible to ignore. There he is. Got kind of a green tint for some reason. I don't know why. The downtown LA shootout remains one of the most influential action sequences in film history. Yeah, so that's what I remember about that, right? It's this incredible shootout scene that seemed improbable, but yet it seemed so realistic, right? Do I have that right? That it seemed like this couldn't happen, but then you kind of think about it, LA, pretty realistic. Yeah, there he is. Oh yeah, he's intense. Heat is of course correct. Very good. All right, top 6. Here we go. Now, the interesting thing about this one is the name of the movie starts with 3 dots. Okay. You're out of order. Need we say more? You're out of order. A courtroom drama with a pulse and a conscience. Legal ethics collide with moral fury in this darkly comic satire. Pacino's lawyer is caught between doing the right thing and surviving the system. Yeah, you guys both got it. Sandra, doctor. Hey, doctor. Doctor's in the house. What's going on, doctor? Hey, but you're missing the 3 dots at the beginning. As Arthur Kirkland, he unravels in one of Pacino's most impassioned roles. The explosive closing monologue was shot in 1 take, with the crew stunned into silence afterwards. Wow. dot, 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 and Justice for All, 1979. Yeah, good movie. All right, top 5. Now, I got to tell you, I never even heard of the next one. So good luck. Number 5, according to the robots, coffee is for closers, and so is this razor-sharp real estate drama. The dialogue crackles like a broken fax machine on fire. A broken fax machine on fire? That would make a crackling sound. It's raining leads and desperation. Raining leads and desperation. The cast is all killer. Jack Lemmon, Alec Baldwin, Ed Harris, and more. Pacino's Ricky Roma sells ice to Eskimos and then closes the polar bear. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Looks like Doctor got it first. Steuart got it. Yeah, you guys saw this, I take it. Glengarry Glen Ross. I didn't see it. But that's one heck of a head of hair he's got going there on this one, right? Though Baldwin's ABC speech is famous, it was written specifically for the movie. Pacino dominated the original play. There you go. Another one that started as a play, I guess, huh? There you go. All right. Well, all right. So number 4 goes way back in time. We're going to go all the way back to 1971. Before the Corleones, there was Bobby the Addict. Did I say that properly? A gritty, unflinching look at heroin addiction in Manhattan. Romance and ruin go hand in hand on the Upper West Side. Kitty Wynn won Best Actress at Cannes for her role opposite him. Pacino's breakout role showed raw vulnerability few actors dared. Yeah, there you go. Steuart, very good. Yeah. The Panic in Needle Park. Robots have it in at number 4. The film's cinema veritas style deeply influenced later addiction dramas like Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, interesting. The Panic in Needle Park. Number 4 on our list. All right, well, there they are. All right, that means we're down to the top 3 now. I gotta have a precise answer on this. Family Business gets darker and colder in this legendary sequel. Flashbacks show Vito's rise while Michael falls deeper into darkness. Betrayals come from all directions, even blood relatives. I know it was you, Fredo. I know it was you. Sandra, you are correct. Well, it could be part 3 too, I guess, but it is the good one is part 2, right? 1974. Pacino's icy Michael Corleone is cinema's masterclass in tragic transformation. Pacino nearly quit during production over a script issue. Thankfully, Coppola rewrote it overnight to keep him on board. Yeah, this is Godfather Part 2. The one where Michael really comes of age, right? And it's the one with all the flashbacks back to Sicily. Yes, I think it's Sicily. Somewhere in the old country. There he is, Michael. Getting tough. I know it was you, Fredo. Yeah. I want to hear that. All right, number 2. Say hello to the most quotable gangster in film history. He is the most quotable in film history. A Cuban immigrant claws his way to the top of Miami's underworld. I love this movie. This is right, this is mid-'80s, same time as Miami Vice and all that, yeah. Gold chains, machine guns, and mountains of cocaine. The American dream gets twisted into a blood-soaked nightmare. Yes, we all know this one. Say hello to my little friend. Pacino's Tony Montana is loud, brutal, and completely iconic. Yes. Tony Montana. Remember the first scene with the Colombians? That apartment? Oh, man. Not good. Not good. Despite mixed reviews at release, Scarface became a hip-hop and pop culture touchstone for decades. Scarface, 1983. Say hello to my little friend. There he is. What's he gonna do? Who knows? All right. So, yeah, the chainsaw shower scene. Love it. Love it. All right, number 1, of course, with a bullet. He didn't want the life, but the life wanted him. A wedding, a war hero, and a horse head kicked off the movie. He starts quiet, calculating, and ends up as something a little different. Arena's in the house. What's going on? One of the greatest character arcs ever put to the screen. Pacino's Michael Corleone is an acting clinic in a transformation. Well, no, so this one's actually the original Godfather. It's number 1. Yes, you're correct. There he is. He's the young Michael, just back from the war. War hero. I don't know if was he a war hero or just back from the war. Studio execs originally opposed to Pacino's casting. They called him too short and too unknown. Wow. Coppola fought to keep him. And the rest is movie history. Yes. The Godfather, Part 1, of course. And that means we've come to the end of the Al Pacino movies. Top 20. Not bad. You guys did great. You guys know them all. better than I would have done, for sure. Now, tonight's intermission, we have guessing, still art guessing game, but it is actually famous pieces of art through history. All right. So let's see if I can find the right file and we'll get the intermission going. All right, so that is correct. Does anybody know the name of the piece or the name of the artist? It was Napoleon Crossing the St. Bernard Pass. Jacques-Louis David. That Jacques-Louis did lots of paintings like that. This dramatic winsome portrait of Napoleon on horseback wasn't about accuracy. It was about propaganda and power. Oh, it was a propaganda painting. There you go. All right. That was a propaganda painting. All right, let's do the second round. Here we go. We're going to do 7. Okay, you know the rules. Robots do the painting, you do the guessing, and I give some clues that are marginally effective along the way. Now we're going to do the top 20 bands from the 1970s. Some cases it's just a duo, but sometimes it's a band. All right. These mellow hit makers loved open highways and abstract lyrics. One of their most famous songs has a horse, but no name. Folk rock harmonies drifted like California breezes. Now remember, we're in the 1970s. Despite the name, they were actually formed in London. Yeah, Doctor. The band America captured soft rock magic in the early 70s. There you go. Their debut album was so successful, it had to be reissued with a horse with no name added to match the demand. Huh. I wasn't aware of that. But yes, you all got it. Dr. Sandra, Steuart, America. They've been around. Supposedly, they're still around. 1970. There you go. They were like the kids of people that were either in our armed forces or our diplomatic crew, I forget, in London. Something like that. Story goes something like that. All right, I think you know these guys. These were siblings who made sad sound so smooth. Lots of S words. Her voice was velvet. His arrangements were pristine. Soft pop with heartache, orchestration, and serious pipes. Rainy days and Mondays never sounded so elegant. All right, Steuart, Sandra, you guys got it. You guys got it. Karen and Richard Carpenter ruled the charts with tender perfection. Karen was also a skilled drummer. Did you know that? A rare combo for a front woman in pop. Yeah, she passed away. She had like an eating disorder, right? I mean, it might have been actually a heart problem, but I think it was caused by an eating disorder. Yeah, she could play the drums. Carpenters, Karen Carpenter. Wow. They started out in '69, and they were still playing until '83, unfortunately, probably when she passed. Yeah, sad story, a little bit. Or a lot. Carpenters. All right, number 18. This was definitely on my my party tape. Always on my party tape. Boogie Shoes required, subtlety not so much. They made disco hotter, funkier, and hornier. Literally. Shake Your Booty wasn't just a song, it was a command. Their name includes both a person and a weather report. Yes, there you go. You got that perfect, Doctor. You got the person and the weather report. Casey and the Sunshine Band lit up dance floors with feel-good funk. Harry Wayne Casey. That sounds like a serial killer to me. Harry Wayne Casey worked at a record label warehouse before forming the band. Did you know that was his name? Harry Wayne Casey? Yeah, Casey and the Sunshine Band. 1973. They were definitely on my party tapes. That'd get people up and dancing. That was the goal. All right. Number 17. A musical. Well, it's hard to see much. Well, maybe we'll let the robots paint for a second. A musical family that could funk, rock, and soul with the best of them. They covered Hendrix and schooled everyone with Fight the Power. Their falsetto game was strong, and so was the groove. Decades deep, and still kept it fresh in the 70s. They started in 54. You might know who these guys are. These guys started in the 50s and weren't their biggest hits were in the 70s. Anybody know? Yeah, Doctor. That's correct. The Isley Brothers. The Isley Brothers reinvented themselves and kept making hits. Ernie Isley learned guitar directly from Jimi Hendrix. There's a little known trivia fact for you. Who once lived with the family. So Jimmy lived with the Isley Brothers. How about that? Temptations is a good guess then. Incorrect. It's the Isley Brothers. All right. That means we're down to number 16 on the 70s. 70s bands. All right. So the band that made jazz majors feel like they were seen. Cryptic lyrics, pristine production, and zero touring. These guys didn't tour. Reelin' in the Years was just the tip of their sonic iceberg. They named themselves after a very adult object in a novel. Don't know what that means. They use brainy rock with jazz man's soul. Dr. Steuart. I think Steuart had that first. Very good, Steuart. Sandra, everybody's got it. I think when we've had these guys on before, somebody said it looked like John and Ono. But it's not John and Ono. Despite being called a band, most tracks featured rotating studio musicians. Fagan and Becker were the perfectionist puppeteers. Uh-oh, Starlink issues. All right, Steely Dan. There it is. All right. Now, this isn't their normal color scheme. So that's your first warning on this one. Mamma Mia! Here we go again. Straight into the disco canon. Pop hooks, glitter, and heartbreak in Swedish 4-part harmony. They won the Eurovision contest, then they won the world. Dancing Queens and Heartbreak Kings. Doctor. ABBA conquered the 1970s with melodic magic and matching jumpsuits. Yes, that's right. They were all about their outfits. This is an unusual picture, though, right? Usually you would associate blue color, Swedish color. Their name is an acronym for the members' first initials. Yeah. And also a Swedish canned fish company. Did you know that? There is a Swedish canned fish company called ABBA. They had to get a release from them to use the name. There you go. They were big. Were they big? They were big. Now, speaking of big, and somebody I have seen in concert, we always like that. The soundtrack to every road trip with a dusty dashboard. That sounds right. Smooth harmonies and biting lyrics define their sound. Take It Easy made the desert feel like home. Don Henley and Glenn Frey co-piloted a country rock juggernaut. Yes. Sandra. Very good, Doctor. That's correct. The Eagles flew high with Hotel California and Beyond. So yeah, I saw them at something called the Day on the Green, which was in the Oakland Baseball Stadium in Oakland. And it was like 5 bands. I think Foreigner was there, Steve Miller Band. Yeah, pretty good show. Heart was the second band. Yeah, that was great. The Eagles. Yeah. Their greatest hits album is second only to Michael Jackson in sales. Michael Jackson's Thriller is the only album to sell more than their greatest hits album. All right. Number 13. 5 brothers and 1 breakout star and a whole lot of sparkle. Their dance moves and matching outfits were iconic. ABC was as easy as pop superstardom. I forget how that goes. ABC. Michael may have moonwalked later, but he sprinted here first. Yes, very good. Steuart, Doctor, Sandra. This is the Jackson 5, of course. There they are. Looking young and dapper. You know, they started in 65. And the 1970s was their peak. The Jackson 5 took Motown to the youth market with style. Diana Ross personally introduced them to the public as Motown's newest phenoms. There they are. Diana Ross. That probably didn't hurt. Gosh, it's the 1970s. You know, it's a long time ago. It's making me feel my age. All right, here we go. Number 12. One was tall and curly. The other wrote all the songs. The Sound of Silence launched 1,000 existential crises. Their harmonies could soothe or devastate. Yes, Steuart, not God. Bridge Over Troubled Water was their swan song. And, of course, a monster hit. Simon and Garfunkel ended in 1970, but their music echoed all through the decade. I guess that's why they get to stay on the list. Their music echoed through the decade. They reunited multiple times, but not without drama. Central Park's 1981 concert drew over 500,000 fans. Wow. I guess I kind of half remember that. Not that I wasn't there. I do gotta remember the news story. Simon and Garfunkel. There they are. Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to Garfunkel. I guess he went on to do some acting, right? He did some acting. Lots of big songs, right? Yeah. All right, number 11. So here we go. One of my favorites. A soap opera set to vinyl with perfect hooks, love triangles, heartbreak, and Lindsey Buckingham's guitar. Rumors sold millions and spawned countless breakup playlists. Yes. Very good, Doctor. You are correct. Stevie Nicks brought the witchy vibes. Mick Fleetwood brought the drums. Fleetwood Mac turned dysfunction into pure gold. Yeah, I went to a concert in Santa Barbara, Fleetwood Mac, and it wasn't very good because she was so wasted. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it wasn't that great because she was barely there. During the making of Rumors, every member was either breaking up, hooking up, or writing songs about it. Rhiannon, yeah. Oh, great song. Yeah, and yeah, I was into her for sure. This is a good looking lady. Partier though. All right, top 10. Let's do it. All right. 4 last names, infinite harmony. Their politics were loud, but their melodies were louder. Folk met rock, and occasionally it combusted. Neil Young didn't always show up, but when he did, it was good. There you go, Doctor. Very good. Doctor has it with a patented short Doctor answer. Sandra has a more complete answer. Very good. Their 1970s album, Deja Vu, was one of the fastest selling albums ever at the time, despite having 4 strong-willed frontmen. And yeah, so what's his name isn't there. Where's Neil? He's not in the picture. So that's a picture on a porch in that Laurel Canyon. So if you have never seen the documentary movie, it's not really, I don't know, I think it is a documentary. Laurel Canyon, cool movie. And that's there. So there you go. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. There you go. All right. Let's do number 9. Darkness, distortion, and a whole new genre. Their riffs felt like thunder and scared a few parents. Ozzy Osbourne wasn't just a meme. He was a metal godfather. They made doom sound groovy somehow. They birthed heavy metal from Birmingham grit. Very good. Steuart, doctor? You know, this is the guys. Tony Iommi lost 2 fingertips in an accident and created his signature sound by down-tuning. Turning a setback into sonic gold. I didn't know that. That's a bit of trivia there. He lost his fingertips. Bummer, but it made for the sound. How about that? Black Sabbath is correct. 1968. Yeah. Very good. All right. Black Sabbath is number 9. That means we're down to number 8. This is another one that was always on my party tape. You Know It's Them by the Horns and the Joy. Funk and Soul got a celestial upgrade. September still slaps decades later. They brought the Zodiac, Pyramids, and falsetto into the groove. Into the groove. They made feel-good music for the soul and the hips. Anybody know who this is? September? Funk and Soul? Yeah, Doctor. Steuart. Steuart had it first. Steuart, Doctor. There they are. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yes. Always on my party tape. Definitely. Fire. Oh, is that Ohio Players? Ohio Players is not on my list. They were good too, though. All right. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Number 7. You know these guys. These brothers had soul and falsetto to spare. The Kings of Disco had already been pop stars in the 60s. Saturday Night Fever made them unstoppable. They brought heartbreak and groove to the same song. Yes. Steuart. Mustafa's in the house. Good to see you. And you are correct. Yeah, this is the Gibb Boys. The Bee Gees. And yeah, was that Saturday Night Fever album big? Did that make this whole disco movement happen? I remember going to clubs. I remember going to a club in Hawaii one time when I was like 20 years old. And that was when disco was hot and it was Bee Gees all night long. Their Saturday Night Fever soundtrack sold over 40 million copies. One of the top 10 albums of all time. The Bee Gees. The Gibbs. They definitely fit in the 70s category, right? At number 7. There they are. There they are. That means we're down to number 6. One of my favorites. Southern rock's most iconic anthem. 3 guitars, 1 rebel yell. All right, ready for the clue? Sweet Home Alabama was both a celebration and a diss track. Free Bird became an eternal encore. Freebird! Freebird! All right. Steuart! Freebird! Leonard Skinner put Jacksonville on the rock map. Yeah, they did. A tragic 1977 plane crash ended their original run just 3 days after releasing a new album. Bummer. So they were 73 to 77 only on the original run, of course. They brought them back, right? But not the original band. Yeah, it's one of those sad rock stories. Quite a few of them. Leonard Skinner. And this one kind of fits in the sad rock story category. Theatrical, operatic, and totally original. They gave us power ballads, arena anthems, and epic videos. His voice could do anything, literally. Brian May built his own guitar, and he rocked it. Sandra! Steuart! You are correct. Queen reigned with flamboyance and fierce musicianship. Bohemian Rhapsody broke all radio rules by being 6 minutes long, and it topped the charts anyway. I just remember from the Wayne's World, right? Oh boy. Yeah, there they are. Queen. Freddie Mercury. Kind of a sad story, right? Yeah. Definitely left us too early. 1970 to 1991 with Freddie Mercury, and of course, I guess they've continued on, huh? Yeah. Queen. And there. All right. Top 4. We're going to know all these. 1970s top 4. My goodness. Heavy, mystical, and prone to a 10-minute guitar solo. Their concerts were loud enough to summon thunder gods. Stairway to Heaven might be the most overplayed and loved rock songs ever. Robert Plant wailed, Jimmy Page shredded. Yeah. Dada. Of course. Led Zeppelin blended blues, hard rock, and folklore into something epic. They never released singles in the UK during their prime, forcing fans to experience their albums whole as intended. So, I don't know, do you guys remember that at all? That they never released singles? Only their whole album? That was very clever. Led Zeppelin is correct. There they are. 1968 through 1980. There you go. Led Zeppelin. All right, top 3 now. Who are they? Can you name the top 3 without any clues? Of the 1970s. Now, these guys turned rock music into a philosophical experience. Echoes, lasers, and floating pigs. Just another Tuesday for them. Dark Side of the Moon stayed as the charts for over a decade. Yeah, I'm almost too young for that too. Not quite, but I'm almost too young for that too. The Wall gave us a rock opera, Big Trauma, and Another Brick. Yes, of course. Dr. Steuart. This is kind of a different picture of them. Pink Floyd. No, there's no floating pigs in the picture. Their album, Wish You Were Here, opens with audio that's almost inaudible. An artistic nod to absence and presence. I remember some weird stuff. They were weird. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, it was an acquired taste. Kind of like scotch. Pink Floyd's kind of like scotch. It's an acquired taste. All right, you know these guys. But this is a great picture when they were very young. Rock's greatest survivors, and they still tour today. They embraced sleaze, swagger, and southern grooves in the 1970s. Albums like Exile on Main Street and Sticky Fingers sealed their legacy. Doctor! You tell them? Look at Mick, man. He is a young man. The Rolling Stones stayed dangerous and danceable. Their iconic tongue logo was inspired by the Hindu goddess Kali. Just edgy enough to stir controversy. Yes. Yeah. Rolling Stones. Look at them. Young, clean cut, all still alive. Oh, most of them are still alive. There you go. Definitely the survivors. They're definitely the survivors. You think they were technically? I guess they were technically. Oh no, Steuart, I beg to differ. I beg to differ because when I was in college, they kind of had a second run in the 70s. They had a couple big out. Some girl. That was huge. 77. Huge. All right. We can argue about that. Well, you know who number one is, of course. And technically, I think your argument is better for these guys. Because they broke up in 1970, but their influence only grew over time. Final albums, Let It Be and Abbey Road, shaped the early 1970s pop. Solo careers flourished, but the Beatles' shadow loomed large. Every band on this list owes them something. Yeah. Yes, we're being technical. The Beatles remain the blueprint for modern pop and rock. Even post-breakup, the Beatles dominated the charts, sometimes with competing singles from each ex-member at once. Yes, the Beatles. All right, you guys knew all those. That was too easy. That was too easy. Next time we're gonna do obscure groups from the 70s. Okay? That's what we're gonna do. All right, let's do another quick intermission. I'm gonna take a quick break, and there's another famous art piece from history. So let's see what we can do. All right, Steuart, you're correct. That little video is kind of cool. So this is called The Scream by Edvard Munch. 1893. A swirling sky, a haunted figure, and a silent scream heard around the world. Munch's expressionist masterpiece captured pure existential panic. It's been stolen, parodied, and immortalized, standing as a universal symbol of inner turmoil. There you go. All right. Well, so we learned something here tonight on Dave's After Dark. All right, let's do category 3. This is, where are we? Here we go. That one sums up your personality, Steuart. All right, you know the rules. Robots paint, you guess. I give the clues, and we're going to do the most impactful world leaders of the 20th century. So not 21st, not 19th, 20th century, most impactful. Here we go, number 20. And probably the least impactful of the 20. Why is number 20? He wore a rose in his lapel and carried a democratic dream. His daughter would later lead the same nation. He championed secularism, science, and self-determination. He stayed neutral during the Cold War's tug-of-war. As India's first prime minister, he helped shape a post-colonial world. No, you don't have it there, Doctor. I don't see the right answer up there yet. There you go. Steuart! That is correct. How do you say that first name? Jawaharlal Nehru. Nehru is what we remember because of his shirt, right? The Nehru jacket, I think, or Nehru collar. That became all the rage. His birthday is celebrated in India as a Children's Day, honoring his affection for the young. Mr. Nehru. Number 20 on our list. Impactful figures of the 20th century. So these aren't all good guys. You know, according to the West. All right, number 19. From exile to revolution, he returned to change everything. His words sparked uprisings across Iran, brought down a monarch, and installed a theocracy. U.S. hostages and veiled ideologies marked his rule. Yeah, you guys both have that, Steuart, Doctor. Yeah. So he has a 3-part name is to be the absolute 100% correct answer. I give you both credit already. You both got it. But he is the blank, blank, blank. 3-part name. I'll tell you what it is. He's the Ayatollah, obviously. That's the first part. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. There you go. Learn something every day. His image was smuggled into Iran. There you go. To help ignite the uprising. There you go. All right. Number 18. You know, he fits. Impactful, right? All right. So, I didn't know who this guy was, so good luck. He led a country from rubble to stability. He's the oldest newly elected leader of his time. He was age 73. His policies helped rebuild trust in post-Nazi Germany. So this is a German guy. He had strong ties with the West, especially the US and France. Here's the key clue. As West Germany's first chancellor, this guy set the dramatic tone. Anybody know who Germany's first chancellor was? And making our list of the top 20 impactful leaders? I actually didn't know this until I made the list. Wilhelm Schmidt is incorrect. I like that answer, though. That's what I would have said, I think. I've heard of him. I've heard of this guy, but barely. This is Mr. Konrad Adenauer. Adenauer. That sound familiar to anybody? He joked that he didn't retire because a man is not old as long as he is seeking something. Ah, okay. Great. Let's go across the world. Now, this guy wore a Mao suit, but opened the door to capitalism. So this is the guy who opened the door of China. It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white. That sounds like a Chinese saying. He brought markets to China, but kept the party in charge. He oversaw booming reforms, but he's also the leader behind the Tiananmen Square. Yeah. Not Chairman Mao, but this guy wore a Mao suit. And he is the guy, I guess, probably that met with Nixon, right? So, Doctor, I think you're on to the right track, but these Chinese names are tough, right? So, the most common thing he goes by is his first name, which is Deng, right? D-E-N-G, Deng. But it's Deng Xiaoping. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Deng Xiaoping. His cat quote became shorthand for China's hybrid economic model. As long as it catches mice. That is some wise words. Wise words. Deng Xiaoping was the correct answer there. In case you were wondering, I think you know this guy. You probably know this guy. He went from Nasser's shadow to peacemaker. I actually remember this stuff. You might too. He's the first Arab leader to recognize Israel, then he paid the ultimate price. Camp David Accords changed the Middle East history. So this is the guy that did the Camp David Accords from Egypt. He was assassinated by extremists in a military parade. Doctor! Do you remember his first name? You are correct. It is Mr. Sadat. Sadat was bold, controversial, and a visionary. He and Menachem Begin shared a Nobel Peace Prize. But he also faced a lot of domestic backlash for making a deal. Yeah, that's close, Doctor. Anwar. Not and war. You're close. A-N-W-A-R. Anwar. Yeah, there you go. There he is. He's happy. Well, he got a Nobel Peace Prize. He wasn't happy when he got assassinated, though. Now, this one, you got to watch the video at the end. It's a little... Don't blink when the video comes up. The only Iron Lady in a room full of suits. She took on unions, inflation, and Argentina. That's right. She was in charge when they went to war with Argentina. She partnered with Reagan to face down the Soviets. And she is the first female prime minister in British history. Yes. Doctor, you are correct. And Steuart, you are correct. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So don't take your eyes off. You gotta love the little video. She survived an IRA bombing that nearly killed her. Then gave a speech hours later. Shoot, Iron Lady, man. Tough cookie. You're correct. This is Margaret Thatcher, the first prime minister in British history. There she is. Survived a IRA bombing. Yeah. Yeah. Don't take your eyes off. Robots nailed that one, huh? All right. Number 14. This gentleman declared independence with a mop of wild white hair. This guy was really known for his crazy hair. He read Israel's founding document live on radio. He led a young nation through its earliest wars. Yeah, it might not have been as accurate. Yeah, the picture wasn't the best. But it was pretty funny. He stepped down and then came back twice. He was Israel's first prime minister and the modern Moses. It's not Mr. Wasserman. This is the guy with the crazy hair, first prime minister. After retiring, he moved to a kibbutz in the desert. Proof he believed in hands-on Zionism. First prime minister, crazy hair. Going once. There you go, Steuart. Nice. Born in 1886, passed in 1973, David Ben-Gurion. David Ben-Gurion. There you go. All right, number 13. Very good. This gentleman swapped fezzes for fedoras. He turned an empire into a republic. This is the guy. He made the Turkish alphabet Latin, and he banned the caliphate, and he praised science. He modernized Turkey in radical secular ways. So who's like the father of modern Turks? You might know. His surname means father of Turks and was a special honor granted by the parliament and legally exclusive to him. There, Doctor, very good. He, of course, has, yes, Steuart, very good as well. He has a three-part name as well. Steuart has the first part, Doctor has the last part, and the middle part is Kemal, Kemal. So Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Excuse me. Ataturk. That's a Turk. Yes. Okay. Number 12. Remember, we're doing most impactful leaders of the 20th century, and we're trying to, broaden it as much as possible. We're trying to represent. This gentleman unified 6 republics, and he kept Stalin at bay. He was able to resist Stalin. He was a war hero turned socialist strongman. He was a socialist. His suits were sharp, and his mustache was sharper. Doesn't have a mustache in this picture. Under. You're correct. You remember Mr. Tito's first name? It's not. I don't know. Is it the vodka? I don't know. Is that what the vodka is named after? This Tito. I know. I love the vodka. Definitely. Tito led Yugoslavia with charisma and independence. There he is. Looking sharp. This is obviously a younger picture. Most of the pictures I remember of him he's very old. His funeral in 1980 was one of the largest state funerals in history, attended by leaders from both sides of the Iron Curtain. That's right, he was kind of in between. Reggie is not correct. It is Mr. Joseph Tito. Who knew? Who knew? I didn't know. All right. Number 11, you're going to know this guy right away. He has a very recognizable face. From baseball dreams to revolution. He's a baseball player. He survived over 600 assassination attempts. His beard was iconic, although he doesn't have much of a beard in this picture. This is a younger picture, obviously. His speeches, eternal. He gave the U.S. a headache for decades. Yes. Dr. Steuart. He did give the U.S. a headache for decades. Castro ruled Cuba from revolution to retirement. And yes, this is Mr. Fidel Castro. He passed in 2016. Though once synonymous with cigars, he later quit smoking and encouraged others to do the same. That's because the CIA kept trying to make his cigars explode. Bay of Pigs. Yes. Bay of Pigs. Oh, it could be War of Pigs. Mr. Fidel Castro. Is his brother's still in charge, isn't he? I think so. Sure. I think so. Oh, there he is. He's angry there. All right. So, time for the top 10. So, we should know all the top 10, I would think. These should be pretty easy. Here we go. Now, this gentleman was tall, he was stubborn, and he was always dressed for a military parade. He led Free France from exile during World War II. And he did return to power in the 1950s on his own terms. He reshaped France's government with more presidential muscle. Yeah. Steuart. Doctor. De Gaulle was France's wartime spirit and post-war architect. He famously once resigned, saying, "How can anyone govern a nation with 246 kinds of cheese?" Sounds like he might have been losing it. Charles de Gaulle, born in 1890 and passed in 1970. Definitely one of the titans of the 20th century. Charles de Gaulle. Yes. He looks happy enough now. Of course, he died in 70. 30,000 types of cheese? Yeah, maybe so. All right, number 9. You know this guy. He served longer than any other U.S. president. 4 terms. He led the U.S. out of the Great Depression and through World War II. I would say he led the U.S. through the Great Depression, is what I would say. Master of fireside chats and bold programs. Wheelchair bound, but politically unstoppable. Yeah. This is a Roosevelt. Do you remember which Roosevelt? This isn't Teddy. You guys remember the Teddy Roosevelt story, right? How he got the name Teddy? Yeah. Anyway, supposedly Teddy Roosevelt didn't kill the bear one time when he was hunting or something. So somebody made a stuffed bear and decided they were going to call it Teddy. I don't know. Anyway, something like that. Anyway, this is not that one. No, this is the other one. FDR, Dr. Hazard. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Yes. This is the Franklin guy. He's the one with the ugly wife. Oh, excuse me. All right. Number 8. One of our favorites. Youthful charm, Cold War stress, and a lunar vision. He faced the Cuban Missile Crisis with nerves of steel. He launched the Peace Corps and 1,000 idealistic careers. That's right. It used to be a good thing to join the Peace Corps. Unfortunately, he was assassinated in Dallas. An enduring mystery and heartbreak. Yes. Yes. Kenyon's in the house. Good to see you, Kenyon. Sandra has the complete answer. We'll give her credit for that one. No shorthand. JFK remains a symbol of hope, charisma, and Camelot. The robots will take license. His moonshot speech was iconic that parts of it are etched into NASA's mission culture. There you go, Mr. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Did you know that? Fitzgerald? There he is. Still giving a speech. There you go. All right. Well, number 7. 20th century. He arrived by sealed train and he seized history. He wrote manifestos with fire and then made them reality. His Red October changed the world forever. He invented the USSR before Stalin rebranded it in iron. Doctor! No, this isn't Karl. Karl's got a scruffy beard. Karl Marx looks like he came out of the forest. This is the clean-cut Mr. Lenin. Vladimir. You know, they like the name Vladimir over there. Vladimir Lenin. After death, he became a waxy attraction. His embalmed body is still displayed in Moscow's Red Square. And, you know, I didn't get to see that, but I did see the outside of the tomb where he's still preserved inside there. You can go inside and see him. Yeah. Right in the middle, Red Square. Vladimir Lenin. All right, Steuart, you should know this guy. Number 6. This is the master of oratory and brandy. He rallied Britain with bulldog grit during the darkest hours. Yes, very good, Steuart. We shall never surrender wasn't just bluster, it was policy. He wrote books, he painted, and he won a Nobel for literature. How about that? Churchill became the voice of Allied resistance in World War II. There he is. Is Winston Churchill half American? Didn't know that. Winston Churchill was born in 1874 and passed in 1965. He was voted out of office right after the war. Wonder why, but came back with his usual gusto years later. Now, what was the reason he got voted out right away? Because I thought everybody was real happy with him during the war. I don't know. I guess it was just a political thing, you know? Weird things happen. Look at our country. Weird things happen. Anyway, Winston Churchill. There you go. That means we're down to the top 5. Top 5 most impactful leaders of the 20th century. Not all good guys. I'm probably going to get in trouble with YouTube for the last 5 guys. This guy opened the Soviet windows and the system collapsed. He introduced glasnost and perestroika with cautious optimism. He helped end the Cold War without a single shot fired. And he won a Nobel Peace Prize. But he lost his country. Very good, Steuart. Very good. Can't really see the birthmark too much in the picture. Gorbachev was the last leader of the USSR and its accidental undertaker. Kind of looks like an undertaker. Mikhail Gorbachev. 1931 to, he only passed away recently, 2022. There you go. Post politics, he did a Pizza Hut commercial. What? What? Did you guys? Yeah. Did you guys see the Pizza Hut commercial? I don't remember that. You remember that? Mikhail Gorbachev. There you go. So who was the guy on the other side of the fence? Might have been this guy. He was a Hollywood actor turned commander-in-chief. Speak of the devil right here. He called the USSR an evil empire. But later he made peace. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. His policies reshaped American conservatism. Reagan's sunny swagger helped define the 1980s. I think Sandra got that one. Ronald Reagan is, of course, correct. He's the only U.S. president who once co-starred with a chimp. Bedtime for Bonzo. You guys remember that movie? Oh, Ronald Reagan. (1911 to 2004). 2004. Yeah. There he is, Ronnie. Tear down this wall. Tear down that wall, Mr. Gorbachev. All right. So top three, and they're all baddies. This is where YouTube's gonna take me down. So, a failed artist turned one of history's darkest tyrants. He rose to power through rage, charisma, and propaganda. He orchestrated genocide and global war. His downfall came in a bunker. His regime reshaped the world through devastation. His name is now globally synonymous with evil. His book, Mein Kampf, is banned or restricted in many countries. Yeah, careful, Sandra, you're going to get banned. So, none of the AI video platforms would allow me to make a short video of Mr. Adolf Hitler, even though we're doing this in a historical, educational format. It won't let me. So we're gonna hope that this doesn't get my channel banned. But you know, he was real. You got to study history. If you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat history. Am I right? Yeah. There you go. Number two. Now they let me do this guy. I don't know why. He was worse in many ways. This gentleman led a revolution by marching thousands of miles. Power grows out of the barrel of a gun. And he meant it. I didn't know he said that. I guess so. He founded the People's Republic of China in 1949. His policies caused upheaval and catastrophe. Yes, they did. Right, Steuart. If he just would have got the art position, things would have been different. Yes. Now, it's always fun though. Mao is his first name, right? So, who knows the last name of Mr. Mao? It kind of rolls off the tongue. Fun to say. Mao built modern China brick by brick and slogan by slogan. His Little Red Book became the most printed book in history after the Bible. So, Mao. No? Anybody got it? About Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong. See? Rolls right off the tongue. Mao Zedong. Zedong. There you go. All right, number one with a bullet. Close it. Close. Number one with a bullet. This gentleman rose from Georgian obscurity, and not the Georgia next to me, to iron-fisted ruler. He purged enemies, he built gulags, and he forged a superpower. He led the USSR through World War II, and at unspeakable human cost. The Cold War began on his watch. Joseph Starling. I like that. That's Clarice Starling, right? Silence of the Lambs. Clarice. Kind of similar to Joseph Stalin. Stalin ruled with terror, paranoia, and brutal efficiency. Even after death, his legacy was so feared that Khrushchev had to de-Stalinize the country politically. Ugh. There he is. This is Joseph Stalin. He was a bad baddie. Number one, according to the robot. He beat out Mao Zedong and Adolf Hitler. There he is. All right. Well, we made it. We made it all the way through the world leaders. If you guys are still here, that means YouTube didn't turn me off. I don't know. Are you guys still here? I don't see any comments. Maybe the internet's lagging or YouTube turned me off. All right. So thank you guys for being here. Always appreciate it. We'll do something fun on Sunday as well. I do have compilation videos available here to close out the evening. I have all of Al Pacino's movies, and then I do have the world leaders as well. So I'm going to say goodnight to you folks. I don't see any comments coming in. I think we're having a little internet issue, but I will say goodnight, and I will put up these videos, and I will see you next time.
The night wears heels. She struts alone. This bar